Right, for Grand Prix week and getting out and about to some of the stables here at Lavros Lodge, and I've caught up with Regan Todd and Bernie Hacken. I'm come across to the Joneses. Derek Jones, firstly, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yourself and Adele train over here. How many, for starters, how many horses do you guys have?
That's a very good question. Probably about 13 or 14.
All up?
All up. Mares, a lot of mares and foals and young ones, yeah.
Bit of a love of the trotter, although you got a couple of paces. I saw a Captain Crunch just getting shot there, but you got a bit of a love of the trotters more so?
I wouldn't actually say that. I probably have a love-hate relationship with trotters. I find the paces way easier, but we just happened to, the mare we bought was Sunny Cash at the sales, and she won 6 for us, and we bred from her and bred some nice foals out of us. We've got to keep going, really.
Yeah, one of those horses is Euro Cash.
Yes.
Yeah, because I did Euro Style. I spoke about Euro Style yesterday, so it's quite funny with the hopes. But Euro Cash does a terrific job. Poor old Kim, twice I thought has actually won a race, and I started interviewing and she said, you know, I've ran second, but she's a lovely mare, but she's always thereabouts, but just sometimes doesn't quite get there.
No, that's exactly right. It's frustrating, but you just got to, that's why it's so good to win a race. You take the highs because there's a few lows.
Oh, I couldn't agree. I could not agree more. It is one of the great things about it. She's a lovely mare. She's not racing this weekend though. She'll front up next weekend.
Yep, front up next week at Rangiroa's R51 and faster trot on the grass, which I think will really suit her. And so we'll head there.
We're just speaking before we started this, and she's by Orlando Vici, and we'll comment. Like I was saying, you know, there's 3 in the Interdominion at the minute. Just Believe, Olivici, and then Adele, who is incidentally, I found out, named after your wife. But they are a breed that just keep getting better, and for her, you would imagine the next year and a half, she's going to really grow into her own.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Clico was the first one we bred by Orlando Vici, and she had all sorts of problems. We now realise it was probably tie-up, but I couldn't work it out because it wasn't clinical tie-up. And I went to a do at Addington one night actually, and the guy's name from Harassa Trotters, not
Pat or Anton?
Trainer Anton. Anton was there, and I thought I'll introduce myself and ask him a bit of advice about Orlando Vici's, and he gave me probably the best advice anyone with about Orlando Vici's, and he said they're princesses. You've got to treat them like princesses because they're like that, and if you treat them like that, they'll give back to you, but if you don't, you won't get anywhere with them.
I was about to say they give back, and you know the 3 horses I rattled off, even Adele, named after your wife. A bit of a head scratcher for everyone that has had her, but the flip side of that, everyone that's had her loves her and speaks so highly of her as well.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? But she's done a great job over there, hasn't she? Really good. Yeah,
Jack's done an awesome job up north with her. Bit of the backstory, I suppose, of yourself. I was watching you just shoe a horse. I know you can shoe a little bit, and you might elaborate a bit more on that or not. But the Jones name's a very famous name in New Zealand harness racing. Back, you know, many of the starts, you've got plenty of relatives. Are you related to those Joneses?
Yeah. Derek was my uncle. And Peter, Jennifer, and Lee, and Glennis are my cousins. We're actually full cousins because our fathers are brothers and our mothers were sisters.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. So we're full cousins, really. There's
a bit of breeding. There's a bit of breeding insight into you. That wouldn't happen very often.
No, I haven't heard of it before, but nonetheless, that's what happened. Yeah.
There is a lot of Jones. A lot of part of that. Mark is your nephew. Is that?
Mark's my second cousin.
Mark's your second cousin. Was harness racing just always going to happen for you?
No, not really. No, shoeing horses was my job, and then I went chicken farming, but. A good friend of mine, Michael Cunningham, convinced me to go to an amateur course one weekend, and I did, and got behind a horse again, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is me. This is just what I need to be doing. And I bought a horse off Brian Kerr for $1,000 called Do a Runner. We won a couple of races with her, and then we bred from her, and we got All About Henry and Kiss the Girls. So it's really just developed from then.
How long ago?
Gosh, it must be 14 years.
Okay, yeah.
14 years ago.
Yeah.
12, 14 years, yeah. So then we went to the sales and I decided to buy a yearling. I wanted to buy a pacing colt, and Adele fell in love with the trotting filly. So once again, as you know, the wife went over and we bought the filly. Turned out to be Sunny Cash. The next day we went back just for a look, and we were about to go and into the bar and have a beer, and she said, I've just seen a horse come through walk past me, you've got to buy it. And I said, I don't want another horse, Adele, we've got enough. She goes, no, you've got to buy it. So she finished up bidding on it, and we got it for $3,000. You know, she keeps on saying plus GST, but it turned out to be a elusive chick. And she won 15 and just over $500,000. So she actually probably really cemented our love of the game, to be honest.
Well, how do you walk away from the sport, if you like with the surname of Joneses, and as I said, the history in harness racing, not just here in New Zealand, but both sides of the ditch as well. But how do you walk away from it? You were a farrier in that, but not not even partake in it, and then come back to it, if you like, and fall so badly in love with it?
Yeah, I don't honestly. I can't explain it. Maybe it's in the genes, and I didn't realise it until I actually started it again. I don't know, but I certainly couldn't walk away from it now. It's just my absolute passion.
That's what I can gather. So were you like, how long have you been a farrier for?
I started when I was 16 and now I'm 64, so you work that out. I don't know how many years.
But you did chicken farming when you were doing that. Were you still farrowing at the same time?
Yeah, I did to start with, because we were mortgaged to the hilt on the chicken farm, and Adele ran the farm while I was doing the shoeing until we could pay a bit of debt off to actually get an income off it.
It must have been tough, because a lot of time people walk away from the game, they'll go work a pub, an office job or something. Don't touch them. I mean, you were touching them all the time, and you never had the craving. No one ever said, "Oh, you want to jump behind this one" or anything like that?
No, I drove a couple of horses one day at Derrick's when I was younger. When I was shoeing there, I might have been about 24, 25, and Peter Jones tipped me over the inside fence, and I fell out. And I know he actually did it on purpose. You'll laugh about it now, but he did it on purpose. But it didn't worry me. But I got up. But yeah, he was a bit of a hard case back then, young Peter.
So then that was sort of it. You decided, well, I've had enough of this already.
Yeah, at that stage, yes, I did.
That's probably a lesson for a lot of people when they have young blokes around the game.
Yeah, no, it's the greatest game. I can only say I just love it. And so the best part about it, our kids are grown up and gone, and Adele and I do it as a partnership. So it's kind of like we've got a hobby after kids. Yep. And my good friend Catherine, who works with me at Tegel, she's an integral part of it. She comes along and trains with us. It's the three of us, really. It's a one bloke, two woman enterprise.
You deserve a medal. Luckily, I'll be gone by the time Adele watches this. I won't have to worry about it there. But a lot of guys say you deserve a medal for that. But I think that's one of the enjoyable parts of it. I mean, I was out at Woodend Beach yesterday. I suppose it's one of those things with a little bit different with Australia. If you like, in New Zealand, we don't have a lot of, I suppose, cohabitable training establishments. We're here at Lavros Lodge, and you guys are here. Over the other barn, you got Regan across the side, but then Regan's got so many people coming all the time that you get to see different people. You get to see different horses and the way different people go about it. It is a cool sport, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And I watch what they do. I'm not silly. He's a very, very good trainer, Regan, and I'm not shy to take good advice, and I'm not shy to ask for advice.
Yeah, I know Regan. He probably comes over and asks for advice too, or ask.
No, he hasn't.
He doesn't. Oh, well, we'll shame him into it. He'll come over to her and ask for some sugar or something. You never know.
Yeah.
But it is a good sport. Do you enjoy the way the sport's heading? Like I say, one of the great names in harness racing. And sometimes the older, don't take this the wrong way, but the older generation don't necessarily like the evolution. But I've got a funny feeling you do.
I think if you asked me that question 2 years ago, I'd have said no, I don't like the way it's going. But I think it's definitely improved a lot. I think we've ironed out a few issues in the game, and I think that Addington coming into it has been massive for us, increasing the stakes. And I can feel a better vibe with the younger trainers, because they're the ones that the future. It's not my future, it's my hobby, but I want the younger guys to have a go and to feel confident they can make $1 out of it and participate, financially in the game.
There is, from my point of view, definitely positivity. I know last year it was about this time there was the announcement of a stake reduction, and you come back 12 months later, it actually can turn. But when it does turn, it becomes more responsibilities and things like that. It's just good that you've said that you actually do enjoy the way it's heading.
Yeah, I am enjoying the way it's heading. And to be honest with you, if there was another downturn, if the stakes dropped, I would still do it, because we do it for love. It's lovely to run a race and make some money, absolutely, but we just love coming down in the morning, being with our horses. I go to bed at night looking forward to coming down here, and I thought that's a pretty good way to be.
You're very lucky, actually, because there'd be a lot of people who'd probably watch this. They might be sitting in an apartment or somewhere like that, and they don't get the opportunity to enjoy that part.
Yeah, absolutely right. And good luck to them if they want to do that, but I just need to do what I do.
Do we undersell it a little bit? Like as a man that's shod, and I'm sure you would have been at thoroughbred farms and adjustment farms and probably show horses and things like that, so you've seen a whole different raft of it. Do we undersell what we actually have? Yeah,
I think we actually do. We do undersell it. I think it's a game. There's more younger people turning up at the race than I notice now. If anyone listens to me, if I could have one thing to say, I think that our trainers at the track need to be a bit better attired. I think we need to be more like the thoroughbred game, be a bit more professional. I think sometimes we just tend to treat it as a second-hand game to thoroughbreds, and I think we need to lift our game.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good point, but I must say I think you guys do a pretty good job over here in New Zealand. I do, especially on the big days. I'm not sure about the other days, but definitely on the big days I think people lift the bar pretty well. I think it's great.
Yep, well, that's good to hear.
What is it with the trotter? What's the love of the trotter? Is that just the evolution and the horses that you bought? Or?
Yeah, pretty much just we bought them, and Kipros gave me a horse to train, Majestic Lavros, so he was a trotter as well. He was a lovely horse, and it just seemed to be that we just had trotters, and all our fillies of the trotting breed that we've had seem to have a wee bit of issue with type, so I've had to learn a lot about that, and I've had some great advice. That's the beauty of our game. You can get advice off trainers. Greg Hope gives me advice. Colin and Julie have been fantastic. Just really good people. Mark Jones, well, he was instrumental in getting Eurostyle going. There's no doubt about that. He told me, he rang me up and says, Derek, she's tied up. You need to train her like this. And I've never stopped training exactly how he's told me.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, he is related, but it's also good that he gives that advice. Good to see him back in the sulky and winning races again too.
Oh, he should be in the sulky all the time.
Yeah, it is a shame. He's a gifted driver.
Yeah, but he looks after his staff. I think that's the reason he doesn't do it, and he likes to focus on the horses. But it's a real shame that he's not out there more, because there's none better.
What are your goals, yourself and Adele? Would you love to get a horse good enough to maybe travel across to Australia?
Oh, absolutely, love to do it. Yeah, absolutely. I would do it in a heartbeat if I could find a horse good enough. I think Eurostyle. I think it's got a lot of ability, but if she was good enough to go, I'm also not. We've also got horses here, and I would probably send it to somebody over there. Like an obvious person would be Greg Sugars. He's got Just Believe, he knows the Orlando Vici, someone like that, and Jess, they're great people. Yeah, we would definitely send a horse over there. We've had Lucia Trick over there. Robbie Morris trained her and did a great job. So I mean, Robbie would be another one. It's just someone that knows the game and is a good driver and knows how to get the best out of a horse.
Big race meetings and big cards. You guys got plenty of them, like Grand Prix weekend on this. Do you watch the Inter Dominion from afar? You see Adele. I'm sure you got a close eye on her, but do you watch it and wish it was back here in New Zealand?
Oh yes, absolutely. I wish New Zealand was more like the old Inter Dominions of the old days. I mean, may never happen, but it's such a shame, because it is the best of New Zealand versus the best of Australia.
Yeah, absolutely. Derek, thank you. I said, can we have a chat? And you started talking to me. And once I set the camera up, you were like, hang on, I wasn't expecting this. I do really appreciate it. I think, well done. Thanks for joining, giving me a bit of time. Good luck with the horses in the future, especially next weekend. It's Rangiora Summer Cup. I was going to say Cup, but it's their Summer Cup, not their main Cup, I don't think, is it?
No, it's the Summer Cup. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a main Cup or not, but we ran it 2 years ago with his skills, and we'd really love to win it again. And we've got the two trotters going there as well, Muscle Sass and Eurostyle.
Adele will have to do some work.
Absolutely, she's got to clean all the gear before we go.
Yeah. She'll be watching this, so you'll be in all sorts. She said she's going to watch it later on and be critical. If anyone sees him with a black eye, we know she didn't like some of the comments.
Absolutely.
Derek, thank you very much, and thank you very much also to Adele for the enjoyable conversation prior to this, mate. I really enjoyed it, so thank you.
Thank you very much.